Hey, welcome to the Durana 5 channel. Tonight, we're going to be discussing FPVs. When was the first build you made and what was it like? And the other topic we're going to be discussing is going to be like long range aircraft. So I'm here with Kai, and Kai and I are going to be talking about these things.
You need to turn your audio off on your video on your YouTube channel because you're feeding back on yourself.
Yep, it's all done. So there you are. So what's going on, Kai? What's the weather like? What are you doing? Are you Texas surviving?
Okay, well, the weather is, cover your ears, children, fucking cold, okay? This is horse crap. I mean, I literally have icicles hanging off of the tree outside. There's icicles hanging on my truck, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
There's a reason I live in Texas, so I don't have icicles hanging off my crap.
Oh, man. So
I'm not amused, not happy. All you northerners up there, come get your weather. Get drunk in it at my backyard. Come get it and take it back up there.
Well, Texas historically gets some unreal, crazy weather.
Yeah, but it's usually on the hot end, not on the cold end.
Yeah, you're right about that. And
but then again, that snowstorm last year, that was a doozy.
Yes, it was. So here we are. Maddie is here. We got Matt, and we got Johnny, and Aki Rasho is here. A to Z Drones. Welcome, guys. So you guys, how's the weather in your end of the woods? Let us know. My live chat is kind of doing something funny. What are you doing, live chat? There we go. So, Kai, what was your first build? What did you pick a frame? Did you?
My first build was actually a half build. Yeah. So when I started, I bought the Father's Day special for the DJI goggles and the 2 air units. Because I knew I was gonna do some wing thing. So I bought the goggles and the 2 air units, and I actually bought the controller too at the same time, or what Chris Sunrise Water Meter commonly refers to as football.
Yep.
And I bought, and I had 2 air units, and I went and I bought this thing, which really doesn't look that great right now. It's the Transtech Beetle 2.5 inch. And actually, well, you probably can't tell, but here's the Transtech Beetle. This is the 3-inch version of it.
That's a good looking little setup there, man. It's pretty sexy with the cover on top and the way that the cover holds the antennas.
Keys up in here too.
Yeah.
It's nasty. I mean,
sexy little sucker, man.
Let me see. Get some lights on here.
Dang on, look at that. Now, of course, you never see that while you're flying. This is for the people that are watching. They see that. That is slick, man.
So, but yeah, no, this is the Transtech Beetle, and actually, if you look at there's a couple of reviews out on it, and this thing is a fun little flyer. Now, with it having a full air unit on it, you have the 1080p recording straight out of the air unit.
The problem I've been having with air unit, it keeps saying, SD card too slow. And it's been doing that for years. And you and I have discussed this before. We're so disgusted with DJI.
I haven't had that issue.
Really?
I have not had that issue. But I buy the SanDisk Extreme.
Yeah.
And I've never had an issue with any of my air units. And knocking on wood, I've got a buttload of those things.
Well, I got 4 of them, and 3 out of the 4
I think last count was 7 of them.
Wow. Yeah, I usually shift them around.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've got 7 of those things now.
Yeah, so it looks like Chris joined too. Sunrise of Water Media. Thanks for coming by, buddy. So
we're not freezing. We're freezing something off down here. I mean, freezing doesn't even cut it. Oh, Lost Girl in the house too.
Angela, hey, thanks for coming by. Genesee's here.
Angela, your stickers are enveloped and marked, but they haven't made it out yet because, well, I just got the stickers and I haven't made it to the mailbox yet. In Genesee, not from Tennessee.
So, Jenna and Angela, tell us about your weather. What's going on? What is it like at your end?
Well, I know Angela's freezing her little behind off.
I'm sure Jenna is too. She's up there. Gosh.
Yeah, but she lives up there in Yankeeville. I mean.
Yeah, upper state New York for Jenna, Yankeeville. Okay.
Angela already got your stickers. Hold on. already arrived. There it is.
Oh, Angela, you did a great job on those. Oh, they look great.
Sticker. I might have to request another one so I can put it on the table.
I definitely like to get into that gig. Like to get in the queue, girly. All right. So that was your first build. I'm going to share my first build. I don't know why you're the only one there.
I don't know.
It just falling asleep at the switch. That was my first build. And this is the Titan XL5 frame from iFlight. And I used iFlight Zing motors. And that's my first build. And put side curtains on it, but there's my air unit inside that works 25% of the time. It's got a Mamba stack in the middle. And it has the old style, the original camera that came with the DJI air unit. That's what that one does. And yeah, that is my first build. And I'll tell you what, my first build that I did was like a 2.5-inch build, and I will never do a 2.5-inch build.
Here's the Titan in the Dead Cat configuration. This is the same one that you've got there, but this is the Dead Cat frame.
That's a DC5, or what is that frame?
This is the DC5.
Yeah, so the Dead Cat, they put the D on it for the Dead Cat, I believe, and X for the X frame. So, yep. And that's so if you see those nomenclature with the iFlight frames or iFlight quads that you're purchasing, D is for Dead Cat and X is for 2X. But the Evoke is interesting, and the Nazgul it sits like right in between both of those. You notice that?
Yeah. Well, the iFlight makes some nice quads.
Did I just call Angela Angie? I can't believe I did. My apologies. So it looks like it looks like Matt Bagwell is going to drop for a little bit, guys. Thanks for dropping by, Matt. So what were your challenges when you made it? I mean, you remember how kind of like nervous? I know I was nervous. I shouldn't speak for you, but I was a little bit nervous. You know, like when I usually put everything on, a silicone pad, and then I start soldering before I even put it on the frame. So I'll solder my buzzard and then, do the air units, and then I'll drop it into the frame, and then I'll do the motors. How do you go about your build?
I think the most difficult or the most problems for me, or the biggest challenge for me, is try to find the right motor combination. You know, motor to prop to quad. There's just, you know, so many considerations, trying to pick the right motor, trying to pick the right equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, you get. I've got a Flywood Chaser Cinewhoop here that came from the factory. It was 1507 motors, and those motors just. I ended up sticking 2203 motors in it, which, yeah, it's a bit overkill, but.
What did you tilt them to from the 1507?
Jet aircraft when this thing takes off, but I got the 8-bladed props in that thing too.
What motors did you put in it? I missed that part.
2203.
What KVs?
KV motors.
Yeah, that's nice.
FPV cycle. These are FPV cycle motors. 6S. Yeah, you start this thing off and you have everybody's attention.
Yeah.
The 8-bladed props. Yeah.
Yeah. It is freaking. It's like a freaking fan. I know my buddy flies with one next to me, and I was like, "Thing is freaking." I don't know. It sounds like a good shop vac, in my opinion.
It sounds like 4 shop vacs.
Yeah, you're right. Shop vacs on steroids. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It looks like Mike is in the house. Michael from Fly Zone Drones has joined. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Mikey. No, but this thing is incredibly stable. I mean,
yeah.
I'll put my DJI action, the original, the Osmo action,
yeah,
on this thing, and the footage is just phenomenal. It's just stable.
And that's the thing about it. That's why everybody loves those things. It's good. You know, Angela, everybody's laughing at me because I was like, wait, did I just call Angie Angela? And that was my my Karen moment, I guess, or my blonde.
Well, you gonna call her Alan too?
Yeah, Alfredo, Al, everybody. All right,
it's find the right combination of the hardware is always the tricky part.
Yeah,
you don't want to be under motored, you don't want to be over motored. You know, you don't want to blow ESCs because you over motored.
Yeah, so let's talk about the ESCs and what capacity you want to pick and why. How do you go about doing that?
Well, general rule of thumb is they say, no, get your ESC 5 amp above what the motor is rated at, but trying to find reliable data on the motors, I mean, half of those.
Yeah, you have to get a good manufacturer like iFlight.
Half the manufacturers out there, the tables that they publish are just garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, you know, the Banggood specials for sure. I've run into that before from
I don't buy motors from Banggood. Sorry. Not happening.
Race Star, I think it was. I bought like 16 of them. I was going to do 4 builds, and I ended up sending them back. I kept it, and then I bought some more like an idiot, and actually weren't bad, to be honest with you, Kai.
Actually, my most recent build has the Mamba motors on it. That's this one. It's got 1505 motors.
Oh, it's a Daito motor. Nice. So the Mamba is a Daito motor.
The Toka, Mambo, Toka, whatever, Mamba, Toka, Mamba Toka.
Mamba, yeah.
Mamba Toka, 1505, 2650 kV, I believe it is. And this is actually a 6S rig. So, and this thing has power for days. And I'm actually flying it on 4-inch biplate props. Originally, I was going to fly and make this a 3.5-inch.
Yeah.
And
I do like those frames a lot because they're really light and strong. Because they're able to kind of disperse all the energy on impact pretty well with the geometry they put on there. So I really like the way
this is Catalyst Machine Works Shocker. This is the 4-inch.
So let me ask you this: remember when the
5-inch in comparison,
the Emax Baby Hawk came out? Nobody else had a frame like this on the market.
Yep.
And then once this hit the market, everybody pull out your frame that looks like this. Everybody started making frames to copy
like
that. But you still have that front support up front, even though it's detachable, I believe.
No, this is actually part of the frame.
There's one piece, bottom piece
available to go across the back too.
Right.
But I took that off for weight issues because I'm trying to keep this under 250.
Gotcha. So what I've been doing is 3D printing all my numbers on the bottom because I don't care about staying under 250. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. This is the 4-incher we were discussing earlier, and I actually crashed it yesterday pretty good. I'll show you there. We were talking, Kai and I were talking about that. I just ripped my Cadix camera right off there, and here's the camera right here, and I just ripped it right off. I was doing a split S over and under a branch, and I just hit it and broke it right off. But yeah, what I wanted to show you is that I did not do 100% infill. I did only like 25%. And you can see right there how it's kind of hollow in the middle, And so what do you recommend? You print a lot of these GoPro mounts for the quads. Kai, what do you recommend for folks?
I print all of mine 100% infill.
100% infill? Gotcha.
Yep.
I've been having a good time with this piece
had at one point, I had to hunt after a camera, and I said, I'll never do this shit again.
Yeah, well, I did. I had to hunt where I started to do it a grid search, and I got lucky on the first pass. I found it, so lucked out. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Let's see what Jenna said. So it looks like Jenna got everything she needs to have her build on the frame, waiting on the other two. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's exciting, Jen. I am so glad to hear that, you're moving in that direction of building something out. And here's the frame that Jenna picked out right here, guys. This is the frame, and it's a Banggood frame. And it kind of looks like they stole the design from iFlight, XL5 Titans and the DC5s. There are 4mm arms, 5mm arms that you can replace. It's a nice little frame. What I did find out, Jenna, is that you can't put a 4-inch prop on this. You can only put the 3-inch prop on this guy. 3.5-inch props. I tried to put 4 in and it wouldn't fit.
Actually, a 3.5-inch prop is a really good prop.
I know. The Avon series is amazing props for me, but I don't know. You fly the Avon series, right? From Emax? No. You don't? Okay.
No. My 3.5-inch right now of choice is this little booger. That's the Crux 35 Happy model, Crux 35.
Oh, the little Happy model. Yes, I remember that.
And this is actually an HD, so it's got a Vista unit in it. Polar Nano up front, which that Polar Nano is going to get replaced by the Nebular Pro Nano.
Looks like
If
Jenna's
you're
in.
looking for a nano-sized camera, so a 14 mil camera on the DJI side, Nebular Pro Nano is the way to go.
Great. Yeah, Chris from the Sunrise Media. Yeah, Water Media. I'm sorry. Yeah, I totally agree. Baby Hawk 2, HD is awesome, right?
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
bet you it is, especially once you get them fixed.
and that's why I built this one, Chris, because it flies just like the Baby Hawk, and it flew for 7 minutes, and I was easy on it. I was, I was doing some rolls and some flips, but I wasn't like speeding around. Kind
Can
of
you
like,
put both
fly
of
the
us
Baby
back
Hawk
on
too.
here?
What's
Can you,
that?
can you put both of us back on here?
Oh, my bad. There we are. Ah, sorry, Chris. I built this 4-inch here, and I think and this one, and it was kind of a battle between the two, which one I was going to keep. I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to just kind of fly that one as hard as I can and see what happens. See if I can survive. Just smash it.
Yeah,
Bang.
I am buried in broken Baby Hawks here.
Let me see how many you've smashed.
I didn't smash.
They smashed themselves.
You want to talk about Baby Hawks? We'll talk about Baby Hawks.
Have you been visiting Kelly lately or something? He's dropping a few.
This is Kelly's junk pile right here.
That's what I figured it was. You and Chris get him right, Chris.
And then I also have a Cinelock 25 right here. Every last one of them needs a new flight controller on it.
Well, I think the mother hawk's been making all those baby hawks for you. And oh man, that's yeah, yeah. Thanks, Chris. I'll try to really put it through the paces. Let's see. We have a bunch of people here, so it's good to have you all. Good to have you all. Yeah. So I was going to show you my desk. It's a total wreck, but. Yeah, these are the three competitors that, I'm trying to figure out which one you travel with. If you have limited space and you want to go fly a PP, which one are you going to travel with? Right? Oh, there it is. That's as far as it goes, I suppose. Yeah, so these are the three I was trying to figure out which one to travel with. And I think it might be this guy here. I don't know. But that Baby Hawk, just so well tuned. And the PID tuning that they did on it is really nice. I might just copy it and see if it have similar settings in Beta Flight for that. I'm not sure. So, what is your thoughts, Randy, about PID tuning?
Well, it's whoop, hold on.
I heard that. I'm having problems too. So there you
go. Here's some I meant to share. Hold on. Where are we? There we are. So there we go.
All right, let's add it to the stream. Let's see what you got. Oh, nice big one there.
Yeah, no, it's the caption down below.
Never let Kelly fly anything that you don't want crash. Was that yours that he was crashing?
Hey, he's pretty good at crashing stuff. He's got that down to an art.
Don't we all? With that crashing, you're really not really pushing yourself hard enough, man. That's my opinion. But, and you Texas boys might beg to differ, but you got to push it, man. You got to push it.
I don't push it much. I like to cruise. I just a nice mellow cruise is plenty good for me. And just in the goggles, just enjoying it.
hmm Well, as you can see from Angie Angela, Lust Girl Adventure says, hit that like button, guys. Hit it, punch it, whatever you want to do, kick it. But and don't forget to visit the other channels here. All the people on the chat here. It'd be wonderful to have us all grow together into a bigger community. So you showed us that picture of you, or actually that big plane. And is that the big plane behind your right shoulder?
Yep. That one right there. No,
Yeah.
the plane he's got in that picture is that's a different plane.
Oh, okay.
No, but my big plane, yeah, that's the one right there in the corner.
Gotcha.
That's
So
the Phoenix. That's the Phoenix 2400. So that has almost an 8-foot span on it.
in the chat, I'm putting this link for the live stream. If you want to join us, Kai and I, hit that link. We'll get you in here and we'll start talking. See what's going on in your life with FPV life.
Well, but to get back to the PID tuning, life has become significantly easier on that regard with the new Betaflight 4.3.
Agreed. Yeah, that kind of tuned everything pretty well. Well, Betaflight it has to cover so many models and so many different manufacturers. They just kind of leave it.
Only do the 4 to 60 in half a second when you got a lot of people around, because it's kind of fun to make them jump.
Was that Chris saying that? And let's see, where is that? There it is. I'll have to put that up there.
Yeah, we were at one of our monthly meetups.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of sitting with their backs to the fence and entrance into the facility there. And I got my truck parked right next to the gate. So I put the quad right on my tailgate, went over and sat down and gunned it, firing it up. I think a few guys had a little minor heart attack on that one.
Yeah, screaming by, huh?
The stock pits are good on it, and you can actually use other people's pits. It's actually in the. Let me pull it up real quick, because I've been playing with
that Gepard C25. It's a solid little sucker.
I've been playing with 4.3 a little bit today, because I needed to update the flight controller in the Crooks 35. All right. Let's see. Enable expert mode. Here, let me share that with you.
So, yeah, I was looking. Maddie's still flying his Evoque pretty hard. What are you using, a 4S or a 6S battery?
I'm running on 6S battery. So if you share that screen I just shared with you.
Coming right up.
And the new 4.3, you can use other people's tunes.
Yeah, it's not that they included as profiles. I noticed that the other day. And let's see, who else just shared as profiles? Somebody else shared all their profiles out there too. That is nice. Very nice.
And then the pit tuning is all sliders now.
Yeah, it's all stock sliders right down the middle. That's what I'm saying. They put everything right down the middle, and making sure they're not going to burn out a motor or ESC.
So, well, it's no longer, you don't have to punch in any numbers. It's all done by sliders.
And I think you still use the numbers. Of course, you got to CLI it, but You just run a script. If you're a coder, that's your world. It'll be easy for you.
So now they're making it lots easier for us.
Now, there was talk that they were going to implement the flag that would allow you to change the direction of just one motor, not all four motors. And now you can just change the direction of all motors.
Rates, you kind of set yourself. I mean, that the rates you just copy across.
Yeah.
All.
So Maddie's using a 6S 1300 milliamp hours, 95C, I would think. Something, or at least
you still hammer in your own, and then filter settings, that's all on sliders too.
Yeah. Good thing you pointed that out, because one of the things that I usually don't talk much about, Betaflight. Yeah, there's definitely, if you're I know a lot of folks will build and then they can't get their quad to arm, and it'll be either a GPS module or D-shot to stop. It'll prevent you from arming your quad. So those parameters you have to check. Also, angle of arming also change it to 180. Everybody knows those.
Yeah, there's.
So those are the three things that most commonly causes your quad from not arming, is setting those flags. Arming angle, D-shot, and GPS. And so don't turn any of those on unless you really have to. I would leave them off until get it to arm, test it, and then you start adding those other functionality to it. That's my approach. What's your approach like?
Well, actually, I was just looking at Matty's Drone World. He's saying what battery he's flying. I'm flying on the 1400 milliamp hour Tattoo. What's it? The RC or R3 edition right now.
Yeah, and I'm a full send guy.
120C.
Yeah, but I'm a full send guy, which is iFlight, and I run 1500s, 95Cs. 4Ss is what I'm running, because that's the motors I have are for 4S. Let's see, I think they're 2750s. I can't remember. Yeah, they're 2750 kV. So yeah, I 6S.
I prefer 6Ss just for more versatility. Because you can actually fly a 6S on the 4S battery.
Oh yeah. I agree.
Tame the beast a bit and then step up to the 6S.
Agreed.
But you can't stick a 6S battery on the 4S, right? Because that'd be the last flight you have with it.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, your warm-up battery. Let's say you have a 4S, then you use a 3S battery to warm up with, and then you put your 4S on it, or you could do the 4S on it and then put your 6S on it later. On it, 6S.
I got a whole pile of batteries sitting down there. That's
we all do. It's amazing how quickly you gain. Oh my gosh, it's such a wreck right behind this door over here. It's just a pile of batteries in this bag, fireproof bag.
What I'm noticing was the resellers, the smaller 6S batteries really starting to show up on the shelves. Race Day Quads just released I think it was a 350 or 380 6S battery, a 450 6S, and a 660 6S, and a 720 6S.
Huh. Well, yeah, and what was it I was saying? Golly, and then you go to the other extreme for batteries is those big capacity batteries you need for airplanes, right? What do you use on that big old airplane behind you?
It's a 5200 3S.
Got it. And the discharge is probably what, 30C maybe if you're lucky.
It don't even pull that much because it's only got a single motor on it.
I know, that's what I was saying. You don't need much. Let's see. All right.
So let me.
Yeah, Jenna was talking about me flying her little guy next weekend. All right, so if you could do a airplane build or a long range aircraft build, what would you build, and what is
Well,
a must have?
actually, right now, I'm actually buying that OMP VTOL.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we are.
That thing is freaking high dollar one, but it's built to rock way out there. It's got the crossfire built in. Well, they wired a crossfire to it. Do you know what kind of flight controller it was? I know you mentioned it the other day on your show.
Like Pixhawk type controller.
You want to put up on the screen what it looks like?
I don't have that picture handy right now.
All right, let me see if I can find it.
Well, it was actually a screenshot off a video.
Yeah, Captain Drone.
Nope.
Nope.
That was off Buddy RC.
Oh, okay. I think Captain Drone had it up there too, right? I'm sure he did. Let's see if I can.
Okay, let me share this one with you real quick before we get off the subject of batteries.
Man, Captain Drone could just put out some videos, man. Some good ones too. All right, let's see what you got.
So this is, there we go. This is RDQ on their new products. We got a 450 6S battery here. We got a 380 6S battery. We got a 660 6S battery. We have a 720 6S battery. It's all these smaller batteries, lighter weight batteries that, we're going to need to stay under that 250. Because, once remote ID hit, anything over 250, you got to have that remote ID unit on. And if we don't have them.
Yeah, agreed. It'll definitely be a problem. The problem is how are they going to enforce it, right? And, it's just going to be. It's going to be weird.
Ultimately, I think Control Link ultimately is going to end up on LTE.
Yeah, probably right. Is this the model you purchased? No.
Yeah.
This is the one you purchased, right? And this is the VTOL we're talking about. And the beautiful thing about it is, man, this motor turns off in flight, right? And do these motor pods swing up?
Yeah.
Got it.
The two front motors swing straight up, and that's when it takes off for the vertical takeoff and landing. And then when you switch it into flight mode, then the two front motors switch, pivot forward, and the rear motor shuts off.
I tell you, this whole front end looks like the Zod Dart XL. Yeah, it sure does. All right. Yeah, it definitely looks like there's that motor in the rear. I wonder what kind of motors. Tell me the motors. Do you remember your motor configuration?
I don't. What motor configuration are you talking about?
On that ZMO VTOL, on the VTOL.
On the VTOL? I
Yeah,
don't know what size motors. I don't think they even advertise what size motors they're using.
I guess we'll have to wait till you do the review to find out. All right, let's see what is everybody saying in the chat. Let's go back and read a little bit of the chat here. Man, eat more pops and got 6 inches of snow right now in the middle of Okie land. I like it. Oh man, yeah.
Here's what it looks like. See my shared screen? That's what the inside looks like.
Yeah, can you zoom in on that? On the
No,
flight control. All right,
this actually just a stop video.
gotcha.
So no, it's a proprietary.
Sure.
It's
Yeah,
OMP labeled. I mean, you see OMP label right here.
and the knockoffs are going to come fast and furious. We're already seeing like the V-copter knockoffs coming out, so I suspect this is probably going to be a month before the knockoffs start coming out. Just once China sees this, they'll buy it, and it just makes
Well, the one thing I done found out, this connector right here, you can actually switch that and put your own receiver on this thing, so you don't have to use the DJI remote.
Mm-hmm.
You can fly this on Crossfire.
Are you using Chrome on your computer?
I use Chrome on my computer.
Yeah, see the right click on the right three buttons up or right hand quadrant, and then you'll see you can zoom in.
I've got this on full screen.
Do you? Okay.
So there's not much zoom into this at this point.
Yeah, well, they did a really clean job. Definitely ran all the wires through that connector on the side, because the arms do come apart, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the arms come off. There's a little 6-way plug in the arm itself.
Yeah, you plug everything in through the arm. It's just, man, that's such a great concept, right?
So
let's see what else is going on in chat. Yeah, anybody getting some crazy weather?
Well, Eat More Possum got 6 inches.
Yep.
No.
Yep. All right.
Experience what 6 inches are like.
Yeah.
Of snow, that is.
Yeah, I know, right? So I was going to show you my maiden flight on my.
Yeah, I got to have a little fun with that.
Let's see. Do I have it in videos? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I was so glad that I did not lose my Caddx Vista when I crashed and it flew off. I got to crash at least 3 or 4 times a flight, not a flight, but a session. Got to crash. Got to push it.
Well, I guess the session's just been replaced by the DJI Action 2. I just can't get there with that thing.
Why not?
That whole interface. What are you doing?
I don't know.
The whole interface of the Action 2 with having to dock it to the power module or the screen module and then download, and just
yeah, you got to put it, break the connection, put it in the middle, right?
and the thing is, mine may sound silly, but on my Osmo Action, If I
Yeah.
crack the lens, I unscrew it and screw a new one on. No harm, no foul. I mean,
Yeah.
$15 for another lens, but you crack the lens on a DJI, you send it in because there's no use or replacement of that.
Agreed. There's no way you're going to fix that.
And it's what, $36 for a 2-year plan, but then if you still have another $40 to pay every time. I don't know what the numbers were, but buying a camera, buying the uh, refresh with it, or DJI Care, whatever you want to call it, and tax and everything, it's $600 for that blessed thing.
I know, right? So I'm going to play you the main flight of this little guy. This is the HGLRC frame, Sector 4 frame. Got to keep it straight. And this is what it looks
the
like.
one you kept flipping yes on the other
No. This is nope, not that one. So let's hit the play button and see what happens. Made flight. Let's see. And it's going to be hard on the camera, not much light. And I took off and didn't notice that I was in horizon mode. So I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this quad? And I'm like, oh, it's freaking horizon mode. So I brought it back and just kind of landed it on the street. And then I needed to change it to horizon.
When you land it, just flip it over. Be done with
it. I've forgotten what switch I programmed it to be in the main flight, so didn't want to do it in the middle there. So main flight, I wanted to give it a little bit of a chance. You know what I mean? Give it a fighting chance. And you can see how cautious I start flying. I'm just it's the first flight. You just want to see what this little guy's going to do. So I'm just kind of taking it easy, just going up and down the road, going around a few trees, and just kind of flying it like you do the baby hawk, just kind of taking it easy, trying not to womp on it or anything. But it was like a 6-7 minute flight, and it was a good flight, because of the fact that I didn't have any issues on the build. It worked where I had a little bit of prop wash hit me on some of the sharp, slow turns. But other than that, it really did well. And I wanted to just kind of get up here and take a look and see how well it did with the sun. And it didn't do too bad. This is actually a pretty decent camera. But still, this video is off the Peanut, and the Peanut did not do that well with this little light that came through here. So I'm just like getting more used to it. I mean, trying.
Right now, on my end, I'm seeing a bunch of pixelation.
Are you really bad? Yeah.
I think that's a StreamYard thing.
It is. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so now I feel comfortable enough to start, playing around with it a little bit, and then just getting a little too crazy. But, I felt like it was working properly enough so I can just go ahead and push it a little bit. But I wasn't going to get any crazy in the neighborhood. It was just going to just rolls through some small gaps and see how it flew and how it handled it. And it did pretty freaking well. It's easy to fly, and this is happy about it. I'm really, really happy about how it flew, because it flew so similar to the Baby Hawk that I felt comfortable, buzzing around, just kind of taking it easy, looking around, and kind of enjoying the flight. I got on it a little bit there, but you can't get on it too much because the pitch of the camera is only like a 20% pitch, 20-degree pitch. Sorry. And Yeah, I mean this is pretty easy going little quad, and the nice thing about it is an 850 milliamp hour battery on it, and it will fly for good 6 minutes, just knocking around. You don't even have to go fast. You just have to have a good time flying around. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun flight. And then I started to get a little bit more aggressive, and then you'll see me crash here before long. Uh, the maiden flight crash, I guess, is everybody has to have one on with their FPV sometimes. Uh, but what are you still seeing? Just pixelations there, Kai?
I'm actually switched over to the actual YouTube feed, and it looks
Ah,
better. It looks better in that than it does in the StreamYard feed
on
right
the
now.
stream front. Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this thing is definitely flies like the baby hawk. So I definitely would recommend it to do this build. Um, Using the Beta FPV F7 all-in-one flight controller with 45 amp ESCs, uh, 6 UARTs on the flight controller, only one flight controller, and yeah, I mean it's and it's got 1507 motors. Let me double check on that. Uh, but the whole point of this flight is, and here's where I make the mistake. Yeah, trying to get through this gap. Boom, down, and but since the battery still had charge, I'm like, I'm just gonna let her, just gonna take the battery down to 14.7 volts on it while flying around kind of nice and slow. And I'm looking at 6 minutes on the video, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. So the total flight time, let's see, coming right back. I'm looking at 7 minutes. Yep, 7 minute flight time. So there it is. That was it. I will build. I have another frame just like that. I have another flight controller, but I'm going to switch over to a different flight controller. I'm going to go for the stack, not the all-in-one flight controller. What do you prefer, all-in-one stacks or? I mean, all-in-one flight controllers or stack?
I've been using the all-in-ones, and I've been my preferred board right now is that J Hamco board. It has 20 by 20 mounting holes on it, and it is a 420 chip on it, so it's got plenty of UARTs to go with it.
And let's talk about the UARTs. I mean, how many UARTs do you prefer? I mean, how many things you're going to hook up to a little quad, right?
Well, the 411 boards are not enough for me because 411 only has 2 UARTs on it. So you put your receiver on it, you put your Vista unit on it, and you're done. You can't stick anything else on it. So the 411s are definitely not enough for what I want.
So I'm definitely going to go with stack next because it's easier to actually mount in the frame that I'm working with. And they don't stick out of the side. Like, that's why that.
Yeah, this one doesn't stick out of the sides. This is a 20 by 20 build. And I have it.
And it's, yeah, you don't have to install it in the quad in a triangle or diamond configuration. You have to install it in a regular, rectangle configuration. And
see it in there?
yeah, I see it in there.
And it has 4 UARTs on it. Here, I'll share that pic that with you again. There you go.
Yeah, so Chris was talking about how he really liked the 800 milliamp hour batteries. I do too. Um, and I bought Emaxes for a while, and man, just kept falling, like 3 months later, they were like
I
dead.
actually recently found the Tattoo 750 4S battery, 40 smaller, like the Crooks 35. And the battery is so lightweight, you can use your peanut camera and still not be over the 250 with it. But yeah, if you share that screen I'm sharing with you.
Yep, coming.
That is my preferred FC right now. 35 amp, has 4 UARTs on it, got 9-volt out, so it's enough to power your air unit or Vista unit.
I really do like how they did the battery pads on it too. They hollowed them out so you can put that real thick amperage on it, usually like 12, 14 gauge, sometimes 16, but probably a 16 gauge would work there for XT30. But you run XT60s on yours, right?
Depends on which one I'm building, but this is a 35 amp, so you're not gonna push too much through it.
Yeah. So I'll definitely do XT30 on that and run those 850 milliamp hour batteries or something like 3S, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So you can get your peanut in there.
No, what I'm saying is 4S 750 battery. It's 84 grams. It's full 20 grams lighter than your 850s.
Oh, it looks like Jenna's been hitting the simulator pretty hard. That's great. Yeah, Liftoff's one of my favorite ones for sure. I bought another one. I never use it, so I don't know. What is your preferred simulator, guys? Let us know.
Hold on. I got somebody knocking on the door here.
All right, I want to drop you. So there we are. Yeah, I've been having a good time comparing these three little suckers, man. These little guys right here, just such a pleasure to fly. Baby Hawk 2 on top, custom build in the center, and custom build on the bottom. But they're all running the same batteries, slightly different cameras. I'll spin it around so you guys can see the stacks in the back. And the antennas are a little bit different. You can see them right there with the new Polar Pro Caddx Vista being a little longer camera. Camera antenna. But they're all set up for the XT30 connector. And, yeah, but the only thing I'm not a big fan is that triangle flight controller they put on the Baby Hawk. Man, I'm not a big fan. But look like Kai's back, so let's get him back on here.
Well, I want to Frankenstein one of those Baby Hawks. I want to.
What are you gonna put that flight controller you were talking about in there?
No. Unfortunately, the way that thing's designed, you stuck with that 25 by 25 mounting on it. But I want to up the motors to 1505 motors and push this thing to 6S.
That'll work. And so you're going to run like 1700 kVs on your motors, or what are you going to run on the kVs?
No, it's 2650.
2650s? Okay. I'm just wondering. Okay.
The 1700, you don't get into that till you get to like a 5-inch prop.
Got it.
You need the larger prop disc to use a to go to a lower KV rating.
Agreed. So yeah, Fred Johnson was supposed to join us tonight, guys, and unfortunately, Fred had ice come through in the area he lives at in Lake George, and took out something, either the internet or the power. Jenna, how's the weather at your area? How much snow are you getting? Ice? Are you getting terribly cold weather now? I know right now out here, I was looking at here in Virginia, we were in the 60s today, believe it or not. Yesterday was really nice.
Quit checking out my stack.
Yeah, 60 degrees right now. Temperature's gonna stay in the 60s all night and start. Yeah, so we're staying on the other side of the cold front right now in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, but I think DC and Maryland might start changing up there. Ice during the night and the snow tomorrow. Got it. It's going to be rough on those power lines out there. Stay warm.
Yeah, we're shut down. I mean, Texas just shut down.
Yeah, I believe that.
We said, screw it. We'll try it again over the weekend,
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's the motor I'm talking about. I've shared it with you.
I'm going to add it to the stream. I was just getting ready to kick you out of the stream by accident. So we're talking about a 1.5 millimeter shaft and using those M2 screws. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You should be able to roll right over that image. Nope. And zoom, but you can't really zoom that much.
How much more zoom do you need? I mean, That's
it. And I was just trying to see what it looked like. Yeah, well, stay safe and warm out there, Jenna, and you guys up there in the Northeast. Weather's definitely coming tonight. We're definitely going to not get the bad weather here. All right, before we drop, we've been rolling for a little bit over an hour, and I want to be mindful of people's time. So
time for us to get out of here.
Yeah. So any parting shameless promotions for you, Kai?
Parting shameless promotion. Well, Kelly's going to have his first Friday stream tomorrow. So you may or may not see people
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I was gonna drive up, but what's this weather the way it is? No way, no how, not happening.
So do you live in Round Rock or are you in the suburbs?
I live in San Antonio.
That's right. I forgot.
I live just outside of San Antonio, and he's up in North Austin. It's like an hour, 15-minute drive for me to get up there. But Texas does not have sand trucks. Those trucks that you have up north where they get the machine on the back that spreads out a nice, even little sprinkling of salt. And we don't have shit like that around here. You know what we have? We have a regular dump truck, and you got 3 guys in the back with a shovel, and they're just giving it.
I'm surprised they didn't have some kind of farm equipment.
Slipping on the ice, you will slip on the sand.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, you drive over that shit, it's like driving on the beach.
Well, good luck. Stay safe out there. Well, for me, I don't have anything except for videos coming out of backpacks and a review on these 5-inch and 4-inch builds that I did. All right. With that said, thanks, guys, for joining. Don't forget, keep hitting that like button and we'll see you around next week. Next week we're going to have DeMarco on here, and then we're going to have. I'm sorry. Next week is Mark Fisher, and then DeMarco after that. So stay tuned. All right. Once again, thanks for joining. You guys stay safe out there. Bye bye.
You all stay safe. You all stay warm.